What are your thoughts when facing an opponent?
There is no opponent,
And why is that?
because the word I does not exist.
So, continue.
A good fight should be like a small play, but played seriously. A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready. Not thinking, yet not dreaming. Ready for whatever may come. When the opponent expands, I contract. When it contracts, I expand. And when there is an opportunity, I do not hit. It hits all by itself.
Well, I don't know if that's the first time you've heard that Bruce Lee clip, that audio there, or if this is something that you've heard before. Well, the reason why I decided to use it is because, when I first decided to do this YouTube channel, I really didn't know how I was going to explain a lot of the things that I discovered about myself. But that Bruce Lee clip right there, I realized this is the very thing that can help me do that. Because in his movies, he's teaching us. A lot of what we hear as far as philosophy, yeah, it may be philosophy, but it's actually him teaching his principles, like hidden in plain sight. The only way you can really understand them, of course, is if someone actually told you about them, like in a teaching sense. You witnessed someone do this. Yeah, maybe you read it in a book or you've seen it in some course. Well, we know that there are no courses, there are no books, and from what I can see, there's no one really talking about what he did and how he did what he did, other than, the physical conditioning routines that are all over the internet, things that come out of the books. But there's a lot that isn't in any of the books, and he's teaching. Now, whenever you begin a journey, there's going to be a destination. If it's a martial art curriculum, well, you get these achievements that we know as belts and certifications. So you have something to look forward to. But when you're dealing with learning about self-discovery, in this sense, because there's no courses or anything like that that's out there, or anybody teaching this, well, you won't know about it. So the only real way is we have to have seen someone do this, and we all have. And that person was Bruce Lee. There's a lot of things I'm going to share with you on this channel. A lot of things that I discovered about myself. But before I can actually do that, there's some events, a couple of events that happened that that are the reason why I played that first clip. Because that first clip is the goal. What he said, it hits all by itself. Well, that is the automation he's talking about, right? And one situation, the first time this happened to me, it was in 2020. That's when I kind of started the training, more or less, not actually doing any of the research. I didn't know anything about the stuff that we're going to be talking about on this channel back in 2020. But during one of my training sessions, I was training with the weaponry, Kali, and I was using a single stick. And I was going through some angles, something I had been doing every day for, long periods throughout those days. But one day, on this particular day, when I was firing shots, my arm, started gravitating. It just started moving up on its own. And yes, it, I guess, freaked me out, if I may. But I didn't think anything of it, other than, okay, I'm just going to continue training. So when I started back training again, it did the same thing, but this time it just started firing off shots all on its own. It really, really tripped me out, and I couldn't figure out what the heck that was, you know. But what it did to me was, because it was so weird, I wanted to experience that again. So I continued doing the training throughout the days, throughout the months, but that event never happened again. It didn't happen again until 2023. When I went down to the YMCA, I decided to, venture out, and it was one of those periods where I was longing to train with somebody, because I had been doing all this training and research all on my own, you know, and I wanted to. There were times throughout, those years where man, I really wanted to, train with someone, just, get that type of interaction. Well, this was one of those occurrences when I did this at the YMCA. Now, the thing that was different here was this. It was during sparring sessions. Um, Everything that I did, whether it was in an attack or responding to something, it all happened automatically. I was not conscious of any of it. I mean, it really, really um, surprised me when those things were happening. So, days to follow after that, I mean, I wasn't researching, but that's when I started getting real curious as to what was going on with me. So it was really that experience that caused me to really get into this deep research, and that's how I made all the discoveries, and came to be someone who I know fully who I am and what I'm capable of. And the only way I can prove something like those occurrences without it sounding, because it sounds ridiculous when someone is saying you're able to, your body moves on its own. Well, I can explain this because I researched it, and I'm going to show you the science behind how that occurred and what Bruce Lee meant by this, because that is the mastery stage. That's the end result of this journey. This is what you're striving for. It's not a belt or a certification, but during the course of this type of training, when you learn this self development, when you're learning about yourself as an individual and who you are, what you're capable of, what your potential is, you're gonna get immediate free feedback. There's not gonna be anyone that's gonna say, "Aha, you got it. That's what it's supposed to look like." No, you're gonna get this feedback yourself. You're gonna feel these things that are gonna be different to you, and that's gonna be your own self evidence. Because the only way you can talk about the things that I'm going to be sharing on this channel is you have to experience it. Because the things that I researched, I didn't even know existed. It was because of the things that I was learning about myself. I wanted to know what was behind that, and why I was able to do whatever it is that I had discovered. And I had to do that with research, and that's how I got into the neuroscience, the physics, the anatomy, the type of the physical conditioning that I had to go through in order to be able to do the things that I'm able to do now. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you on this channel. And everything that I do, everything that I show you, everything that we discuss, all of it is going to be supported with the science behind it. Because it makes no difference if I'm going to tell you what this looks like and what this is, but not show you how to do it, because that's the whole point. I'm a human being. So anything that I was able to do, anything that I was able to learn, well, naturally you can do the same, but you don't know what it is yet. And that's why I put this channel in place.